Hi, my name is Kim Kosea, and this video will showcase the skills I have acquired while in the Master's Digital Teaching and Learning program at Azusa Pacific University. Before I talk about my experience at APU, I think it is important to talk about what led me here. I had been a stay-at-home mom, volunteer, and part-time student for many years. My daughter was going to graduate high school, and I wanted to stress the importance of going to college, but thought to myself, how can I expect them to pursue their education if I didn't have a degree myself? So I decided just going to school part-time wasn't enough. I needed to push myself and work hard so my kids might follow my example. I also knew from all my years of working as a volunteer in the classroom and with my kids' sports and activities that I wanted to be a teacher. In 2009, I put myself on the path to graduation from Mount San Jacinto College. At that same time, I was driving down the highway and saw off the exit the APU sign. I pulled off the highway right then and got information about the school. It turns out that the APU offered an accelerated program in human development that was also a pathway for teachers into the credential program they offered. I graduated from Mount San Jacinto with my AA in Social and Behavioral Science in 2010 and APU with my bachelor's degree in human development in 2011. I was 6 months pregnant with my fourth child when I walked across the stage. I was very impressed with my experience in the bachelor's program at Azusa Pacific and had heard many great things about their education department. But with the new baby, I decided it was time to take a semester off. I decided to enroll in a program that combines a master's degree in digital teaching and learning with a single subject teaching credential. So in the fall of 2012, I started on my path to not only becoming a middle school science teacher, but one that can easily and effectively integrate technology into classroom instruction for the benefit of my students. While in this program, I have spent many long days trying to balance my family responsibilities and school workload. On many occasions, this is how you would see me studying. As part of our capstone for this program, we are required to demonstrate how we can find a problem in the process of finding a solution. This is known as action research. Currently, one of my greatest struggles is that I just don't feel as good as I used to. Since having my fourth child, I find that I'm exercising maybe once a week, and I want to find a way to exercise 3 or more times per week. My first step in executing a plan for working out 3 or more times a week was to eliminate things that kept me from working out. Things such as the weather, the baby, and my husband working from home. So I decided to join a local gym, which eliminated some of my excuses. I wanted to work out in a gym on days that the weather wasn't agreeable or when my husband needed quiet for work. And the gym provided daycare also. I kept a log of my workouts and made notes on how I felt after each workout. In a 3-week time period, I found that I worked out 4 times or more per week, not just the 3 times I originally held myself accountable for. 46% of the workouts were done at the gym. The other 54% consisted of me walking the baby in the jogging stroller near my home. During the 3-week period, Saturdays were the day I was least likely to work out on. In fact, I never did. And Thursdays seemed to be the day I am most likely to work out, and I did every Thursday. After 3 weeks, I feel good. I exercise more than I anticipated. I don't feel like a new person, but I definitely feel like I'm heading in the right direction. When I started this program, I wanted it to only be about exercise, not diet. However, I am noticing that eating better has been a direct result of my exercising. The weather was beautiful for the entire length of this study, which might have helped me get outside and be more active than usual. I think holding myself accountable by logging my exercise patterns really helped me to stay true to my workouts. I'm really happy with the results. This unit is designed to meet the standards for middle school students in the physical science classroom. Content standards addressed in this plan are listed under Standard Set 3, Structure of Matter. The standard emphasizes that each of the more than 100 elements of matter has distinct properties and a distinct atomic structure, and that all forms of matter are composed of one or more of the elements. This unit plan also focuses on the cognitive development of students. Howard Gardner believed that each person learns in a different way according to which intelligences are their strengths or weaknesses. Bloom's taxonomy has also been incorporated into this lesson plan in order to maximize the cognitive development of my students. Psychologist Benjamin Bloom created this classification system as a means to promote higher forms of thinking, such as analyzing and evaluating rather than just recalling facts. This unit plan also focuses on technology. Incorporating technology into lesson planning can create enthusiasm and spark student interest in learning. National Education Technology Standards, also known as NETs, have been implemented into each lesson of this unit. NETs are a set of standards published by the International Society for Technology and Education for the purpose of enabling students to learn effectively and live productively in an increasingly digital society. There are 5 main objectives I will be covering in this unit. The first is that students will be able to identify and discuss the structure of the atom. The second learning objective is the students will be able to demonstrate their knowledge of the elements by grouping them according to their atomic structure and physical properties. Students will exhibit their knowledge of the atom by completing several projects that meet these objectives, including a Build an Atom worksheet packet that corresponds to Build an Atom simulation software that you see here in this video, as well as artistically creating an electron dot diagram. These projects will especially benefit students who are of the kinesthetic, interpersonal, logical, and visual intelligences. The third learning goal for this unit is that students know the history of the periodic table. Students will recognize how the elements are grouped on the periodic table. They will understand that elements on the periodic table are arranged horizontally in order of increasing atomic number and vertically in columns with elements of similar chemical properties. One of the projects that will demonstrate knowledge of this learning objective includes writing about a scientist who contributed to the periodic table using the newspaper generator app Bodhi, which is pictured here. This activity utilizes the verbal, kinesthetic, and intrapersonal multiple intelligences. After completing their newspaper article, students will interview each other about their scientist using the Tom and Ben News app. Students who hold the verbal and interpersonal intelligences really enjoy this activity.
So Dmitri Mendeleev, is it? They tell me you invented a type of chart that somehow categorizes the 63 elements known to man.
This is true.
You must think you're kinda smart then, huh?
Well, actually, it came to me rather clearly. Each element is listed in order of increasing atomic
Oh, that is fascinating. We hope you make a lot of money on the invention of your little table.
Students also demonstrate cognitive knowledge of the material for this objective by creating brochures and posters of the elements that they present to the class. These creative activities are designed with the visual, kinesthetic, and interpersonal intelligences in mind. Naturalists will also appreciate detecting patterns among element groups and periods while completing these activities. The next objective I will cover relates to standard set 3, D, and E. Upon completion of this lesson, students will be able to identify the different states of matter and how that corresponds to their placement on the periodic table. Students will use software such as Comic Creator to generate a comic strip that depicts a character that is solid, liquid, gas, or plasma with characteristics that relate to its molecular structure. This activity will engage the visual, kinesthetic, and interpersonal learners. My musical students will enjoy creating an atom-to-element song which will demonstrate their knowledge on the structure of matter. They can either perform their song for the class or download it to software such as Dropbox. The final objective for this unit is that students understand the concept of ionic and covalent bonding, which explains why some elements combine to form compounds. Students will be responsible for creating a Venn diagram with 5 statements in each portion of the diagram that compares and contrasts ionic and covalent bonds. This activity best supports the learning styles of the naturalist and visual intelligences. In conclusion, this unit plan has been designed to concentrate on the California State Content Area Science Standards and the best means to deliver instruction to the student. By creating lesson plans that address all types of intelligences and incorporate Bloom's taxonomy in order to maximize learning, I have created a unit plan that will involve and engage my students. This unit also encompasses the NET technology standards that show my students' abilities to be creative, communicate, collaborate, research, and demonstrate their critical thinking skills. The technology incorporated into this unit further motivates my students and actively involves them in the learning process. So what have I learned about technology in this program? Incorporating technology into lesson planning can create enthusiasm in the classroom and spark student interest. While in this program, we created a lot of projects that demonstrate how technology can be used in the classroom. Here are some of my favorites. While in the program, I learned to create a YouTube channel where I can upload the short movies and slideshows that I create for my classes. I've also learned to create lesson plans using online platforms such as Sophia or WebQuest. I can use online presentation tools, including some I had never used before, such as Prezi, Glogster, or Animoto, with ease. The Education Department at APU has a vision. It is to develop highly effective, innovative, visionary educators. I think they did a good job with me. Thank you, APU.